After the disaster that was Bass Landing, I feared the rest of the PlayStation 1 fishing games, and I was right to, because BassRise, developed by Bandai in 1999, is yet another stinker, but also one I'd sooner recommend, as it's playable, albeit not great. So let's jump into this short review on BassRise. Again, these fishing games have awful titles, kind of like Call of Duty Modern Lame Fare, Tree Barf. The game only has two options and settings, with single player mode and versus. Since I don't have friends, after all I'm a gamer, we will stick to single player mode, which started out promising with the ability to choose our gender and the color of our outfit. Simple yet effective, as players, I included, like to have customization in their games. After that, we can choose from only 2 locations? Oh boy, here we go. This is going to be another dookie in a urinal, isn't it? Like Sega Bass Fishing and Action Bass, you have the distinct style of gameplay, which I was happy about as it's my preferred way of fishing. Not like Bass Landing, where it's realistic and boring. I don't want to stare at water all day. I want to see underwater and watch the fishies like a kid at an aquarium. Anyways, controls are doable since it's the Sega Bass Fishing format. Graphically, it's nothing great even for the time, but the water does look good, I'll give them that. In fact, the developers was so proud of the graphics they advertise and boast about it in the game.
Regular side.
So let's talk about the game's 2 locations. One is by a bridge in a river during the sunset. There's no moving the boats around, so you're in a fixed location. I get it, but still, that's one of the few pluses I'd give Bass Landing. The river is more shallow, so you get a smaller fish, but can see things more clearly. The second location is near a dam and restaurant. The water here is murky, dark, deep, and the time is day. Here, larger fish are lurking, and I did hook a meaty fish.
Large size.
You cannot choose your fishing rod or anything like that, but you can switch your lure. You cannot choose the time of day or weather or season or anything either, unlike Bass Landing. So overall, the game is tiny and lacking, but it's fun, and the water tech is impressive for the PS1 in 1999. In fact, the water is better than a lot of 2010 games, and even the 2020 games, which says something about how programmers can make a difference when they have the know-how and passion for something. There's not much else to talk about outside the 2 characters you meet when fishing. The first is a lady, I guess, who teaches you the basics and leaves. The second is the store owner, who eventually challenges you to catch large bass. And that's about it. There doesn't seem to be like a real plot or anything, and it's just a little fun fishing game. So let's get this video over with.
What?
So at the end of the day, it's not an awful game, albeit a mediocre one. Yet I do recommend the game. It's playable, just nothing great. I still recommend Action Bass and Sega Bass Fishing overall, but after Bass Landing, BassRise is a good game in comparison. So go check it out if you can. It's a small game with decent water quality, and there's other fish besides bass, so that's a plus. Anyways, that's it for this video. See you all later.
Fish on!